guys? Joe Szymanski here. How do you like that, Mason Nation? Another big win for your Patriots today. Student section absolutely showed out. Go green and gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back finally to the Onward to Victory podcast. My name is Joe Szymanski. It's been about a month since I've done one of these, not since we beat Richmond in the last A-10 game of the season. I guess actually previewing the A-10 tournament, I guess, was the last one. Since then, we've been through quite a lot, Mason Nation. Obviously this man is no longer here. He is a Providence Friar, along with Ticket Gaines, along with Rich Barron, along with former head coach Kim English, and most of the staff that was here. And it was announced about a week after the A-10 tournament, after Providence lost head coach Ed Cooley to Georgetown. That led to Kim English heading to Providence. And that was about it. But today, Mason Nation, was the official start and the introductory press conference of your newest head coach, Tony Skinn. The Giant Killer team was there. We had Brian, you had me, our new guy, Palmer was there, one of our new videographers, Staffa, he was there. We had Petey Buckets in the crowd. It was a great attended press conference for noon on the Monday after Easter, I have to say. Excuse me. It was a good day, and it was a great press conference. You know, Gregory Washington, buddy, I like you. I like you, Gregory Washington. I think you've done a reasonably good job so far for a university president, buddy. You got to work on that public speaking a little bit. That was a bit of an awkward first half. I'm not going to lie. The first half, but I thought, Rogers came up there, got us excited. And then Tony Skinn, it was only 20 minutes. The actual introduction was only about 20 minutes. In terms of, actual looking up at the stage, only about 20 minutes. Very short in that regard, because Tony Skinn was very short and sweet. There was no fluff. Tony was like, look, we're going to play a certain way. We're going to play hard. We're going to play determined. We're going to have our 4 pillars. This is what Tony said. We're going to have our 4 pillars. ACCF, attitude, commitment, class, and this is going to be a family team. And family was something that I heard a lot. I got to talk to both Lamar Butler and Jai Lewis during the press circle. Most of the Final Four starting 5 was there. Lauren Campbell's there, Jai Lewis, Lamar Butler, of course, Mr. Skinn, Coach Tony. Both talked about family and what that Tony understands what it takes to win here. He understands what it takes to win here and how it is that he, that's going to take. And, I got to talk to Coach Skinn afterwards. It was very funny, actually, because I was coming up to introduce myself to Coach Skinn, and he immediately said, he said, "Hey, Joe, how's it going? How are you doing today?" And it was very funny because apparently the new guy, the Tony Skinn, knows my name. Maybe he saw one of these videos out there. That's very, very concerning if he did. Very scary moments there. But I got to talk to Tony. I asked about how, he made the comment that he's not going to just want the players, he's in with the players and the fans in the arena to make opponents feel what he calls patriot pressure. And I asked him what that means, and Coach Skinn has pointed out a couple times already, he is going to bring a pressing defense to Mason, and we are going to be a defensively minded team in which we are going to be doing defense to offense, and we are going to implement a press. He says it's not going to be too much different from the Larinaga 2-2-1 press that he put up when Coach L was here as Mason head coach. But he says that we're going to see some differences. But he did comment to me that it would be a 2-2-1 press that he would use for this team. And I think that's very exciting. A big bane. I want to point out, Mason was not a bad defensive team under the Kim English era. Specifically there was a big jump from year 1 to year 2 in terms of defensive ability. Very good. But, I think it was a interesting, more boring style of defense. If the team wasn't rebounding well, it didn't work because it focused a lot more on trying to force bad shots at the end of a shot clock more than forcing them to try and make a turnover or something like that. Sometimes leads to less openings, and that can lead to less shots. But if you weren't rebounding well, like sometimes Mason didn't last year, or if they were hitting good at long twos, then the defense looked a little bit shaky. And we had one of the lowest steal rates in the country. I think to a lot of people, I think to a lot of people in this fan base, I know our guy P. Buckets, he was a real bane of him, that we had such a low steal rate. I think he and a lot of others would be very excited by what they see from this press. I think Coach Skinn has absolutely the right idea in what we want to do with this press, and that is to play defense, turning defense into offense. And he's got two guys who I think are coming back that can really help him do that. Obviously, Malik Henry, Mr. Patriot, never even thought about it. Talked to him if he even ever thought about putting his name in the portal. He said no. He said he wants to finish what he's built here. He's done and he's built the relationships and everything here, and he wants to finish his time here as a George Mason Patriot, even though he's on his third head coach already. And he wants to finish here as a George Mason Patriot. And then Ronnie Polwai, I came and talked to him, and he said after talking to Coach Skinn, he knew that Coach Skinn was not only invested in this program, but was invested in Ronnie as a player and as a point guard. RP3 will be PG1. Let that be no questions asked on that. RP3 will be PG1 on this team. Other plays that I saw there, Peter Odura was there. Rumors he was staying on the team as well. But the interesting thing here, though, Jenica Ojiako wasn't with the players today. He didn't stick around to speak. Only Polite, Dinkins, and Henry talked to the press. But Jenica Ojiako was there. That would be an interesting move to see if Tony Skinn decides to keep Ojiako around. The Nigeria connection is there. Remember that, Jenica is from Lagos, Nigeria. Obviously, Tony played for the Nigerian national team in the Olympics. We're going to be connected to a lot of Nigerian guys. It'll be interesting to see if that connection is something that maybe has Coach Skinn interested in keeping Jenica here, or if that is something that makes Jenica more interested in staying here as his player. And it'll be very interesting to see what that could do to our front court depth if it kind of stays the way we expected it to, which would be that Jenica and Henry would be our two kind of big guys, and that will kind of be interesting to see how that matures into maybe what we think this team's going to be here. And that'll be very interesting, I think, to see here. I got to talk to some of the potential new assistants. They've been told to say potential, but all three people who have been named were there today. All of the three assistants who were named were there today, which is very exciting. Coach Curran obviously was the big name. He was there, folks. Don't worry. I know no one's officially said it yet. He hasn't changed his bio or anything, but I promise you, Coach Curran was there. He was at the press conference today, folks. So don't worry, that paperwork, it sounds like, will be done this weekend. You'll want to be paying attention this week, folks. I think the fan base is going to like some of the news that comes out of not just the staff, but I think, crossing my fingers, hopefully an official commitment from one or two guys in the portal as well, if our ears are correct. But anyway, this is the start of a new era now. And we're officially into the dregs of the offseason. I'll do, not as active, of course, as I would be during the season when I'm doing game recaps and game previews and so forth. But, when it comes down to it, we'll be talking offseason. When we get guys in the portal and we get guys from out of the portal, we'll be talking about that here. We'll do maybe a recap, when we get a couple of 2 or 3 guys out, you say, hey, maybe if we both get Keyshawn Hall, Jared Phillips, and Darius Max, you can be damn sure I'll be on here screaming my head off if we get all 3 of those guys. It'd be great if we did. I don't know if we will. That's probably maybe a bit too hopeful, but gods, would it be awesome if we did get all 3 of those guys. And, hopefully we're going to get at least one of them. That would be the hope, of course. And, I'm very excited to see what we're going to do here and what Coach Skinn is going to be able to do. Very excited to see for this new era and this new path that George Mason is going to take. And I'm going to point out an interesting comment from Jai Lewis. He says, now that Tony's the head guy, expect to see a lot more of the Final Four veterans come out here to watch games and to hang out. And I think no matter what happens, I think that will just be good vibes to the fan base. And I think a necessary thing where we need to make sure that this team and this fan base is feeling a little better about themselves. But it was a rough start to the offseason. That hurt. What the former coach Kim English did, I think that did hurt members of this fan base. And I think we need a boost. And I think Tony not only has the credibility to be head coach, but will provide that boost and so much more as he rejoins the Mason family. And I have to say, I am more excited than I've ever been with this new era. After today, it's going to be exciting, guys. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Mason Patriot. And you guys need to follow it all here at the Giant Killer YouTube, the Giant Killer website, the Giant Killer Twitter. the By George Instagram. You want to be there. You want to be there for this because it's going to be a fun off season. It's been great talking to y'all. I am Joe Semantic of the Onward to Victory podcast. Hit that like and subscribe button because you know we are your number one all-stop shop for George Mason basketball years. Signing off for now. See you guys real soon.